Good afternoon. Am I audible to all of you?
Good afternoon, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So previously we had initiated the topic. We had discussed basics of GST. Now the same discussion will continue. We're still on the first chapter, which talks about the basic elements. We'll move very slowly so far as this chapter is concerned. Purposefully, we are moving slowly so that you will be able to understand the concepts. And in this chapter, we want that all of you should have clarity over the subject. Whatever issues that we are touching upon in this chapter, you should have complete clarity so that it will be easier for you to understand all other chapters. In the meantime, you must have received a mail. All of you have received a mail. Please unmute and speak.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That mail contains some reading material, some reference materials are also there. So that will be useful. So keep on reading that reading material. Reference material can be referred to the moment you are having some doubt or some query. You can refer to that reference material. Reference material is basically the GST law itself, GST Act. That is one thing, and these tariff charts are also given to you so that you can find out, you yourself can find out what is law and what is the rate applicable to a particular goods or particular services which are supplied. That is the purpose of giving you all these things. Well, we'll continue our discussion. I'm going for screen sharing once again. Did you visit this website? Please unmute now. Please unmute and interact. Did you visit this website?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the website from where you can download our GST book. Law, GST Act can be downloaded. GST tariff or GST rates are also can be downloaded from this website. You keep on visiting this website and try to make yourself familiar with this website. You need to understand what is the content of this website. This is one more website. This talks about the practical things, procedural aspect. When you'll be learning about the registration process, return filing process, this particular website will be all useful to you. This website also you can visit, but thing is that you cannot enter into this website unless you have a login ID. Okay, here you see that login button is there. If you're having a login ID, then only you can enter into this. This is in fact GST portal. Then various services you can have through this portal. Okay. And from this website, I had told you to download study material. Anyway, I had mailed you the study material. First chapter. You can go through that. Okay. In the meantime, let me tell you, I had told you to share your phone numbers, your WhatsApp number, so that you can create a group and materials can be quickly shared with you. Please do that today by the end of the class. Send me all your WhatsApp numbers so that we can create a group.
Sir,
Yeah.
if you can share your number, we already have each other's contact number. So we'll make a group and then we can.
Yeah, I had shared my number. I had given in that email, my number is given to you.
So, sir, we will create a group and then we will add you.
Yeah, you create a group. That's fine. That's lovely. You create a group for this particular chapter, particular paper.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a group for this particular paper?
So, not yet, but we'll make one today.
Yeah, then please do that. Please have a group for ITL only. Okay. Group name can be ITL_XUB_2020. Okay. Create a group and make me the admin. So it will be easier for me to send the relevant material to you. And we can give you the video links also. Some requests have come to share the recorded videos that will be shared with you. Once we create the group, it will be shared in the group. So you can repeatedly see all these recorded videos. Right? Whenever you want, you can pause the video. You can listen it repeatedly. That will be useful. That will be more useful. Okay. So today you complete this thing, create a group for this particular paper. Okay. I'll be sending you the recorded classes. About these invoices you have discussed, I think you have good knowledge about these aspects where CGST, SGST, all these things, how to understand an invoice, all these things, and how to understand a payment challan. But the GST registration certificate also adds on you. This particular number is also called as GSTIN. GSTIN means GST registration number is also referred to as GSTIN. What is the meaning of GSTIN? Can you read and tell me?
Goods and Services Tax Identification Number.
Yes, GST identification number, that is called. I had shown you how the GST law looks like. You know what is law, what is the first section deals with three aspects. You know what is the meaning of preamble, that also you have understood all these things. And you also know section 2 talks about, section 2 has got various clauses that talks about the definitions. Okay, direct tax, indirect tax, all these concepts we had discussed thoroughly. Now, yeah, these concepts, all these things we had discussed. If you have any query, still you got time, you can ask me. We can clarify that thing. In this first chapter, you should have complete clarity on all those issues that I'm trying to touch upon. Okay. Yeah. So I'll start from here. I had broadly told you what is SGST, CGST, IGST. You know in which situation, which kind of taxes will be levied. Okay. And today I will be talking little detail about this. So you know what is IGST. By this time, you know in which situation IGST will be levied. IGST stands for Integrated GST. Okay. In which situation this GST will be levied? Can any of you tell me?
So interstate transactions.
Yeah, in interstate transaction, not only interstate transaction, as well as on, can you read it here?
Imports.
Imports. That also you have to keep in mind. These are the two situations with IGST will be levied. So this is the tax which is collected by the central government, and central government distributes this tax among states. Right? IGST charge whenever a product or service is moved from one state to another, or from a foreign territory to Indian territory. In those situations, IGST will be levied. So IGST is in place to ensure that a state has to deal only with union government. You know, under GST mechanism, under GST regime, the supplier can take credit. Okay, credit of the tax element on the inputs, which we call it as the ITC. Is it not? Input tax credit can be availed. Okay, let us say supplier is located in one state. He'll be receiving supplies, he might be receiving supplies from various states. Is it not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now tell me how many states are there in our country? Who can tell me how many states are there? Who has idea? Who can tell me these many states are there in our country? Who can tell me? Any
So
guess?
28.
28 and 29?
Sir, 28.
28. Okay. So you see, if 28 states are there, so you check off. I'm not sure. And how many union territories are there?
8, sir.
8. Okay.
8.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you see, so there are, let us say 28 plus 8 total. You can say state and union territory taken together 34. So if suppose you are located here at Odisha at the city of Bhubaneswar, so to avail input credit, I might be receiving goods from other 33 places, 33 states, and that means 27 states, or maybe other union territories. So I have to deal with all these states to settle my input tax credit. Therefore, purposefully, this IGST system has been introduced so that one state has to deal only with central government, only with union government. Okay, not with other states. Understood? The logic why this IGST is levied. Otherwise, there is already one central tax that is called as CGST. CGST is already there, is it not? That tax is also collected by central government. But IGST is different, CGST is different. Understood the concept? Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, examples also we had seen earlier how IGST will be collected and in the transaction between two states. Okay. And finally, the states where goods are actually consumed get the tax benefit because GST is a consumption-based tax. It's a destination-based tax. Therefore, the state which consumes the goods or services gets the benefit of tax. He receives the tax benefit. SGST, so when in any intrastate transaction, there are two kinds of taxes which are levied. One part is called as SGST, other part is CGST. Rate is same, amounts are same. Okay, state government is the sole claimer for this kind of taxes. That means for SGST, state government is the sole claimer. This aspect we had discussed earlier. Okay, suppose someone from Cuttack is selling a goods to another person not located at Bhubaneswar, then he will be levying two taxes. One is SGST, that is state GST, and CGST. Right. In all intrastate transaction also CGST is levied. Okay. CGST is levied at intrastate or interstate transaction?
Interested.
Intrastate transaction CGST is levied. Okay. Right. So some examples we had already discussed. And there is one more tax which is called as UTGST. So this stands for Union Territory GST. So similar to SGST, some union territories do not have their own legislations. So they follow this UTGST Act. Accordingly, those union territories charge CGST plus UTGST. Just like a state charge SGST plus CGST, they charge UTGST plus CGST for all their intra-union territory transactions. Okay, that also you have understood. Examples also we have taken earlier. Okay, now this chart I had shown you earlier. So today what I will do, I will ask specific question to specific person. I want you should have complete knowledge about this issue. Let us say the first question will go to Drishti Agarwal. Drishti, you have to answer. Okay, suppose there is we have already discussed it earlier. There is a intra-union territory transaction. Like there is a supply within the state of Ladakh. What kind of tax will be levied?
CGST plus UTGST.
CGST plus UT.
UTGST.
Correct. Okay. Second question will go to Anurag. Anurag, you are ready?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
this is the
sir.
situation. The supply is from a foreign territory to an union territory.
Yes, sir.
What is your answer?
Sir, since it's import, sir, so IGST will be levied.
IGST will be levied. Only IGST. Okay. So this is only IGST. Right. Okay. Next question is Suryans. Suryans.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is the situation. This is a supply from China to Odisha.
Yes, sir. IGST only.
IGST will be levied. Okay, this is IGST will be levied. Okay. Okay. Next is Shairaj. Shairaj, this is the situation from one state to another state.
Yes, sir. IGST, sir.
IGST. This is again IGST. One state to another state IGST. Okay. Now then Shweta. Shweta, you are there?
Sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Shweta, this is a question for you. That is a interstate supply. Which kind of taxes will be levied?
The IGST.
IGST, are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, this is an intrastate supply. See this particular thing I referring to, not interstate, intrastate supply.
The SGST plus CGST.
SGST plus
CGST.
SGST plus CGST. Okay. Okay. Had it been an interstate supply, then IGST.
IGST.
Okay. Next is from state to union territory. This arrow I am referring to, from Odisha to Pondicherry.
The IGST.
IGST? Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay. Now this question goes to others.
Yes, sir.
Others, please tell me. This is the situation. From Pondicherry to Sri Lanka.
It's IGST.
From Pondicherry to Sri Lanka. This question is open to all. Who can tell me?
Say
From
IGST.
Pondicherry to Sri Lanka. IGST? This
Yes,
is
sir.
others now. Who is talking? Others?
Yes, sir. Others.
Yeah,
IGST.
others is saying IGST. All of you are agreeing to him.
No,
Are you
sir.
agreeing? Huh?
No,
Whether
sir.
earlier we had discussed this point. Earlier, had we discussed this point? Yes or no? You see, this is not from foreign territory to Indian territory. It is
This is
the other way
export,
around.
sir.
This is an export. This
Yes,
is an
sir.
export. So this is different. That's why purposefully I am asking you this question. If this is the kind of export, you have to remember this thing. There will be no GST. This will be an exempted supply.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Next question will go to Raj Tilak. Raj, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Raj? Raj Tilak? Raj, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Raj?
Sir, is there.
Yeah, this is the question, Raj, for you. The supply is from Tamil Nadu to Sri Lanka. Which kind of GST will be levied? Raj, can you reply? Okay, now question goes to Mrudula.
Sir, he typed it, sir. I think he has a problem with his microphone. He typed.
Sir, it's IGST.
Mrudula, you are replying it is IGST. But again, try to analyze the situation. This is not an import. This is also an export.
No GST.
So what should be the answer?
No GST.
Exempted, sir.
It is, there will be no GST. This is an exempted supply. We'll be
So
learning
this
it.
is foreign to state, right? So this is foreign to state.
No, I told you Tamil Nadu to Sri Lanka.
Oh,
State
sorry,
to
sir.
foreign.
Sorry, sir. Sir, I thought the Sri Lanka.
Yeah. So now be careful.
Yes, sir.
Now, next question, let me ask Aditi. Aditi, you are there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The question is, there is a supply from Ladakh to Pondicherry,
Sir, IGST, sir.
IGST. Okay. That's from Ladakh to Pondicherry. Okay. How many situations we have covered?
9.
9. One more situation you have to remember. This question, let me ask Yash. Yes, you are. Yeah. Yes,
sir.
this question is for you. The supply is from Pondicherry to Karnataka. Question is, what kind of GST will be levied?
Sir, IGST, sir.
IGST. Okay, good. This is also IGST, right? So these are various situations we had covered. Let me summarize it now. Look at this chart. Now all of you can reply. Now here you see we had 10 situations, 10 different kind of situations. Okay. Now this column, second column is about supplier, and what is third column? Third column talks about location of the receiver and what kind of GST. Okay, all of you can reply. You can unmute and reply with me. Suppose supplier is one state, receiver is the same state. Now tell me.
CGST plus SGST.
CGST plus SGST.
CGST plus SGST, correct? Supplier same state, receiver another state.
IGST.
IGST.
IGST. Supplier same state, receiver union territory.
IGST.
Sir, CGST plus UTGST.
IGST.
IGST.
Uh,
State to union territory.
It's going out of state, so IGST.
Okay,
IGST.
IGST. IGST. Reply carefully. Okay, in your question, let me here tell you. Shortly, maybe in few days, maybe tomorrow also, we can have an exam. And this exam is not going to test your knowledge. We'll be testing your application skills only. So only if you have understood the logic, understood the concept, you'll be able to answer those questions. Okay, so be attentive and analyze the things minutely, analyze the concepts, and try to reply. Okay, so now next question, the state to foreign territory,
No GST.
no GST, zero rated supply. Union territory to same union territory,
CGST plus UTGST.
Plus
CGST plus UTGST. Union territory to another union territory,
IGST.
IGST. Union territory to state,
IGST.
IGST. Union territory to foreign territory,
No tax.
no tax. Right. Foreign territory to state
IGST.
and foreign territory to union territory,
IGST.
IGST.
IGST. Okay. Okay. So good that all of you could answer me correctly. Okay. If that is there, that means I believe that you will not be having any problem in identifying which kind of tax is levied, because sometimes we find in many invoices supplier is charging a wrong kind of the GST. Practically we see in industry we see this kind of problems are there. So these problems should not be there with you. Now we are confident that this is how GST will be levied. Okay, are you sure that you are thorough in this area, this concept? Are you confident that there will not be any mistake about selecting the type of GST that is going to be levied? Yes,
Yes,
or no? Yeah, okay. Now, next concept we are learning, this is about the concept of accounting. This accounting concept separately we will be learning in detail. In detail, we will see how GST accounting has to be done. Maybe once these basic things are over and we understand some more concepts like time of supply, place of supply, etc. After that, we will be again coming to the accounting concept. The purpose of touching upon so many things in the first chapter is that once in this chapter, everything we will be learning at a very basic level, at a very surface level, we are going to learn this. So therefore, we are learning this accounting concepts also. You know, under the GST regime, if you are a registered supplier, then you can take input credit, which we call it as ITC. So at the time of purchase, we'll create a current asset. This concept we have discussed. When we make sales, we'll be creating a current liability. Then we'll set off our current assets with current liability. Then the difference has to be paid. Okay, this is the concept we have understood. Is it not? Now all of you have to explain me, or one by one I'll be asking you what kind of entries we'll be making. Let us say please help me in making entries Only in order to understand the basic accounting concepts, we'll be discussing this thing. Okay, this is visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us say first question. Let me ask Aditi. Aditi,
Yes, sir.
we'll be discussing. If it goes wrong also, if the answer goes wrong also, then don't worry. We'll be discussing the subject. So let us say we are purchasing. We are making a purchase. There is a purchase of, let us say, 1,000. 1,000 is the base price. We are purchasing.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And on this purchase, we are paying IGST. IGST is how much? 1,800. Our total we have paid 1,180.
Sir, I think you.
Okay.
Sir,
Are
if
you getting?
IGST is 1,800, then why will we pay?
Yeah. What should be the IGST?
The 180, sir.
We'll take it 180. So 1,180. Right.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now tell me what entries you are going to pass.
Sir, purchase account debit,
Okay. Purchase debit.
1,000.
Then
Then IGST account debit, 180 to bank account.
IGST 180.
To bank account, 1,000.
Let us say it's a cash purchase. This is right. This is the entry will be made. Okay.
Yes.
Now this is one. Now let us say we are selling that product again for again it is an interest rate sale. We are selling that product for 1,500. 1,500 is the base price with GST of 18%. Interest rate sale. What will be the entry? Cash sale.
Cash, bank account debit,
Bank account debit. How much? That's that. How much you will see there? Bank account debit to
yes, sales.
sales.
So what it was, IGST,
IGST.
right?
Sales basic value is 1,500.
To IGST.
IGST how much? Again 18%. How much?
Yes, sir. 18%.
270.
270. Okay. So what will the total debit?
So 1770.
17. Okay. Okay. Normally you see here I am creating a IGST liability. Here I am creating an IGST asset. Is it done? Because this is receivable,
Yes.
this is recoverable, this is an asset, and this is payable, this is an liability. Right. Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
okay. For convenience, normally what we do, we can make it, let us say, when we purchase, we can call it as the IGST receivable. And when payment, we can say IGST payable.
Pay.
For the sake of our convenience. So you can give some other name also. Then finally what we will do, when we will pay, how much we are supposed to pay? 270. And receivable is there, 180. So net amount has to be set up. So difference 90 rupees has to be paid. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then what entry will make here? Who can tell me the entries at the time of payment?
IGST account debit.
Yeah, tell me. Now there is no IGST account. One is IGST payable account, IGST receivable account. Who can
Sir,
tell me?
IGST payable to bank 180.
You are asking or replying?
Sir, I don't know if I'm correct or not.
Yeah, tell me. Even if it is wrong, that doesn't matter.
Sir, IGST payable to bank 180.
90.
90, sir.
I can
90.
give you one consolidated entry for this.
90, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, 90. If you're saying 90, then you're right.
Yes, sir. 90. Sorry.
Okay, just a minute. You can do that. Okay, you can write what you are saying, IGST payable to
Bank, sir. Bank or cash.
bank. But in that case, what will happen to the IGST receivable? This account is
So
not
it gets cancelled, no?
we need to cancel it. So if you are making an entry, let me suggest you what you will do. What can be done?
IGST received to IGST payable.
Now you can write, you see, IGST payable 270. Okay. So this is credit, that debit will be cancelled. So IGST you can say payable 270 to IGST. This is not visible to you. Wait a minute. I do something. To IGST receivable, how much? 180 to bank 90. You see.
Sir, so if we do the entry directly like IGST payable to bank 90, will that be correct?
You are making IGST payable to
Bank directly, sir.
technically that is correct, but only thing is that these accounts are not closed. Finally, one more entry
Okay,
we have
sir.
to pass by cancelling the balance of IGST payable with balance of IGST receivable. One more
Okay,
entry
sir.
you can pass.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Got it. Sir.
This purposefully I gave you this idea. This is a very basic level. Okay, this is not, don't think this is the final answer. At this stage, you understand this is how entries are to be made. But finally, what you have to understand. Finally, one we have to keep in mind. Here only one IGST is there. Only one GST we are talking about, that is IGST. But practically, how many kinds of GST will be there? There will be SGST, there will be CGST, there will be IGST, there will be UTGST. Is it not? Yes or no?
Yes.
In every business,
Yes,
you have to deal with all these things. Okay, and there is, you can say, there are some rules of setup. Not that everything can be set up with everything. So that we need to consider. For example, let us say you got a CGST credit. Okay, CGST credit can be used for settling CGST liability or IGST liability. It cannot be used for settling SGST liability. Are you getting? Similarly, suppose you got a SGST credit. SGST credit can be used for settling SGST liability or IGST liability. It cannot be used for CGST liability.
Okay, sir.
Whereas IGST credit can be used for all. So this thing I'll be talking about all this thing in some other time. But right now, if you've understood this basic concept of making entry, we'll be entering into the complex entries at a later stage. Right now, I'm not telling you all these things, but at later stage, I will be definitely telling you. Okay, up to this, is it clarified to you? You know, up to this, whether you have understood how entries are made. This is the basically this is the way in which entries can be made. Okay, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So in detail, we will be learning how once we know that this is how entries can be set up. This is how the GST asset, the input ITC can be set up. After that, we will be doing some kind of complex entries. So having understood this concept of GST accounting, now we'll be learning some other concept, like the concept of value addition. You know, GST is called as a value added tax. That means effectively tax is levied on value addition. And when you produce or we consume or a product is produced, product moves in value chain. Manufacturer produces the item, then it is, let us say, transport to a wholesaler. Wholesaler transports to a retailer gives it to a consumer. So at different stages, all these people do a kind of value addition, right? When it is a kind of value addition, product moves from manufacturer to wholesaler to retailer and to consumer. Is it not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now here is a question for all of you. All of you, please be attentive. I want that all of you should be also confident in calculating GST and understanding the process of how GST process of tax and value addition. Through this example, we will be trying to understand. Okay, you see, so many cells are blocked. Only data is available on limited cells. Only 4 cells of the table data is available. And what will be the data in other tables? I will be asking you. Okay. So name wise, I will be asking you. You will be replying to me. Okay. Now you see, here in this example, we are assuming that rate of GST is 18%. Fine. Okay.
Yes, sir.
First question, Anurag, you are there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First question is to you. All of you, please be attentive. This is a very important concept. So all of us should understand. Question is that you see this is a table, so many cells are there. There is a manufacturer who purchases input at base price of the input is rupees 100. GST rate is GST rate is 18%. On input, how much GST he has to pay? Anurag, amount.
Sir, 18 rupees.
18 rupees. Okay, 18 rupees, no doubt of this. All of you listen carefully. 18 rupees he has to pay. Okay. Now the story goes ahead that the manufacturer makes a value addition. He does something, and how much value addition he is making? What is the value addition he is making? How much amount? Anurag,
50, sir.
50. 50 is the value addition. If 50 is the value addition, Anurag, tell me what is the base price, base selling price, base price, not GST, not including GST.
Sir, 150.
150, very good. Base price is 150. Now, Anurag, also tell me what will be the output GST?
Sir, 27 total.
27. How you are calculating?
Sir, 150, 18%.
1%.
Sir, on base price, sir.
On base
on
price.
base
Good, good. 27.
Or you
all
can
of
take,
you,
sir, 50
Okay.
is 18%. The
okay,
value
all
added.
of you have, I think, understood. Very good, very good. So, of 17, you have asked. Okay. Now, from here, we'll move to, I'll be asking, next question will go to Aditi. Aditi, please unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now here I'll be asking you a question. So this is what Anurag has told us. Input is 100, input GST is 18, value added is 50, sales base price is 150, output GST is 27. How much input tax credit manufacturer can take?
Of 9.
How much input tax credit he can take? What is the amount of ITC manufacturer can have? Think overhead. ITC is on what? How much ITC is available? How much credit is available?
So
How much? Aditi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You see,
Sir, I'm not able to understand.
you are not able to understand. Okay, I repeat the question. Don't worry. Even if your answer goes wrong, never worry about that thing. Okay, keep on participating. We'll try to understand the situation. Okay. So input base price, that means manufacturer is purchasing something at 100 rupees, on which he is paying input tax of input GST of 18.
18.
Okay. Okay. So that means total his purchase price is 118. He is making a value addition of 50 rupees. So base sale price is 150, and output GST he's charging to his consumers 27 rupees. Now 27 rupees he will be charging, but he will not pay
On the
27
base price.
Yeah, he will be availing some input credit. So what is the input credit? What is the amount of input credit he can avail? That is the question. Same
9.
amount. No, 9 is to be
Sir,
paid. Yes. It's the same thing.
credit you are saying, na?
Yeah, credit is how much? Credit is same 18 rupees.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is credit is 18 rupees. The next question is how much GST is payable? Now you answer this question. Aditi,
Yes, sir, I'm listening.
yeah. How much GST is payable by manufacturer? How much he has to deposit?
He has to deposit in. Sir, no idea. I'm confused.
Okay, now you see, don't get confused. So I'll be sending you the recorded videos also. You watch it once again. Right? Try to understand. You see, you know that on the output, on the sales, 27 rupees he has collected from customers as GST.
Yes, sir.
Is it not? And he has already paid 18 rupees when he has purchased his material.
So,
So there is
yes,
a,
9.
yeah, 9. That should be the answer.
9.
Okay.
9.
That should be the answer. Okay. 9. Okay. Now, are you getting it now?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Sir,
sir.
can you repeat?
Sir, can you repeat the
Okay. All of you, please listen once again. And if required, you can watch this video later on also. So there is a manufacturer who is purchasing some material at 100 rupees. 100 rupees is the base price, on which he is paying GST of 18. So 18 rupees is his input credit, input GST. On the input, he is paying 18 rupees. He is making a value addition of 50 rupees. So 100 rupees after value addition become 150 rupees. For example, suppose he has purchased wood and he has made a table. So table, because of table, there is a value addition of 50 rupees and the base value become 150. On 150, when he is selling, assuming 18% is the tax rate, he will be paying at our GST, his liability is 27. Okay, 27 rupees. At 27 rupees, he will not pay because he got an input credit of 18 rupees. So his tax credit, whatever is the GST, input GST is available, that is his input GST credit. Input GST credit is 18. So now, finally, how much of GST is payable? 27 minus 18, 9 rupees is payable. All of you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, who will answer the next question? Some of you, please tell your names. Otherwise, I will select anyone. Please tell who is going to answer next question. Who? Okay. Next question goes to Sweta. Sweta?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sweta, you have understood the first part?
Sir, I can try this one. I'm not
Okay. Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Please try. Please try. Now, from manufacturer, products comes to the wholesaler.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Wholesaler. Manufacturer is selling at what price? 150. base price is 150. GST is collected and paid. Base price is 150. From wholesaler, what will be the input price? At what price wholesaler is going to buy? Base price.
150.
Very good. 150. Okay. Manufacturer is selling 150. Wholesaler is buying at 150. And on 150, when you will buy at 150, how much GST he will pay? Wholesaler.
So 27.
27. Same 27. Which manufacturer has charged, he has to pay that thing. 27. Good.
Yes, sir.
And here wholesaler is making a value addition. Let us say he is doing some kind of packing or he is marketing expenses, he is adding some margin, that is value added. Now, what will be the sale price? That means base price, base sales price for wholesaler.
So now
Base price excluding GST. 150 plus value addition 100. How much?
450.
How much?
250.
250. Very good. 250. 250. On 250, what will be the output GST? Same at 18%.
The output GST.
18%.
So so 45.
45. Right. How much tax credit is available to him?
Sorry, sir.
How much input tax credit?
Tax credit.
ITC is available for wholesaler.
27.
27.
So
Good.
27.
27. How much GST is payable by him to government?
So 45. So 18. 18, sir.
Correct. You have understood this part?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who is interested in asking the next question? Very simple thing. Aditi,
Yes, sir.
this question is for you now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Aditi, you have understood first two rules.
Yes, sir.
Now you see. Now wholesaler is now transferring it to a retail seller.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You tell me, retail seller will purchase at what price?
Sir, 250.
250. Got it? Right. Same thing. The 250, which is the sales price of wholesaler, that's the retail seller's purchase price. And how much GST retail seller will pay?
45, sir.
45. Same. Okay.
Yes.
Because this is charged by wholesaler, retail seller is paying this thing. 45. Okay. And here retail seller is making also a value addition of 50 rupees. Then what will the base
Yes,
sales
sir.
price?
Sir, 300.
300. On 300, how much output GST he will be charging?
18%, that is 54.
That is 54. Good. How much tax credit is available for retail seller?
45, sir.
45. Good. Then how much tax has to be paid?
9, sir.
9. Good. Understood? All of you have understood, or anybody has some query at this stage, please raise this query. All of you, please try to understand. Now,
Clear, sir.
it is clear. Now, same Aditi, continue. Now, if this is
Yes.
the retailer situation. Now, retailer is selling it to the consumer. Consumer's base price how much?
300.
300. Consumer, how much GST consumer will pay?
54, sir.
54. Consumer cannot avail any credit. Is it not? Consumer is not going to sell.
Yes.
Ultimately, consumer has paid 354 rupees. Base price is 300 and input is and GST is 54. Total 350 rupees has to be paid by the government. You see, effectively, all others are paying GST only on their value added. Effectively, you see, manufacturer has paid only 9. He paid 17, but credit is 18. He paid only 9. 9 rupees is 18% of 50 rupees, which is the value addition he has made. Wholesaler, how much he has paid? He has paid only 18 rupees. And retailer, how much he has paid? He has paid only 9 rupees. And customer, how much he has paid? He has paid 54 rupees. Entire GST has to be borne by the customer. Understood this concept? Okay. And if you calculate, in the last column, if you calculate GST on value addition, or 18% of the value addition, this is the value addition. You can find this 9, 18, 9. And the same amounts are paid. You see, same amounts are paid by manufacturer, wholesaler, or retailers. Meaning they are paying tax only on the value addition. Is this concept clear? Is it clear? Or should I repeat?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
It's clear? Okay. If similar kind of situation may come, maybe some case study kind of situation in your exam may come where you have to decide that how much GST is payable. Okay, if that kind of question comes, hope you will be able to answer. Will you be able to answer if some question in this manner comes to you? Will you be able to answer? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Once this concept is over, now you have understood GST is a tax on value addition. Ultimately, tax is paid on the value additions. This concept you have understood. Right. You have also understood how input credits are availed in the accounting entry. You have also understood how GST liability is settled with input tax credit. And finally, the difference amount is only deposited with the government. That also you have understood. Now, at this stage, we'll be understanding, we'll move to a new concept. Or not new concept, we have broadly discussed this earlier. This concept is, who can read? Can you tell me what is the concept we are going to learn now?
B2B versus B2C.
B2B and B2C, right? So you know broadly what is B2B. B2B means
Business to
business to business, and B2C means
Business to customer.
business to customer. Okay, that is what we know. But from GST angle, we will be learning what is B2B and what is B2C. Because in GST, you know, we have got several legal obligations. Okay. So many obligations we have. Obligation is that, first of all, if required, then one person needs to get himself registered. If he is registering, he has to recover GST whenever he is making a taxable supply. And he has to, after availing input credit, he has to pay tax. That is one obligation. But with that, obligation is not completed. He has to file several returns. That means through that returns, he will inform the government that this is the money I have collected by way of GST, this is my input credit, and finally this money is deposited. Several returns has to file. While filing that return, he has to classify that how much sales he has made on B2B basis, how much sale he has made on B2C basis. Okay, therefore, a registered supplier need to analyze its B2B supply and B2C supply. Okay, then only he can fill up those returns and can upload that. So B2B, B2C, loosely we have understood. Now technically we will be understanding what is B2B and what is B2C. Okay, so earlier I had shown you some invoices, if you recall. Okay, can you recall some invoices which I had shown you earlier? And there you are distinguishing that this is B2B invoice, what is B2C invoice. How you are able to distinguish that this is B2B invoice and what is B2C invoice? How you are able to distinguish? Any of you can tell me?
If we are buying in our firm's name, then it is B2B.
Who can tell me how to distinguish?
The one with the registered GST number is if both the parties are having a registered GST number, then it is B2B. If one of the say supplier is having a GSTN number and the consumer doesn't have, it is B2C.
Okay, so loosely you have understood. That is, you can say a kind of shortcut way of recognizing whether this invoice is B2B invoice or the invoice is or B2C invoice. You could know that by seeing the invoices. Okay, so now we'll be learning. After this break, we'll be going for a break now. After this break of 15 minutes, then we'll catch up. We'll be learning what is B2B invoice or B2B supply and what is B2C supply and B2C invoice. All these things we are learning after this break. Okay. So I'll stop here for the time being. We'll catch up in the next class after 15 minutes. Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.